Hey everyone, I'm doing my evening reflection and I'm using the scriptures for the Saturday of the week rather than the Sunday. Tomorrow's readings I'll do separately, but basically in our church they are focusing on the importance of marriage, and if you read the missal there's a lovely introduction in the front, so you can reflect on that. But I'm doing the readings for the Saturday, and this reading is from the Gospel of Mark, and it's basically the crowd had followed Jesus and they had nothing to eat. And Jesus was feeling sorry for the people because they had been with him for 3 days and they had nothing to eat. And he said, basically, if I send them away hungry, they'll collapse on the way because some came from a great distance, and the disciples, they must have been far away from everything if they had to walk 3 days. They're saying, well, where are we going to get anything to feed them because there's nothing nearby? And Jesus takes what they have available and he blesses it and he gives them to the crowds to sit down. So it's a miraculous action that he's performing, because after that they have basketfuls left over and everybody's eaten as much as they wanted. They collected 7 basketfuls of scraps that were left over, and there had been about 4,000 people. And then he sends them away, immediately getting into a boat with his disciples, and they went to the region of Dalmanutha. So again, we see this performing a miracle. Jesus is doing what is impossible for the people. And Jesus is not only taking care of their spiritual needs, he's taking care of their physical needs. He's taking care of them when they're hungry. He's taking care of them, saying, whatever we have, bring it to God and God will multiply it. And that's how Jesus works, and Jesus works through us. And when we are in need, when we are looking for his help, we turn to each other and we say, well, how are we going to manage? What are we going to do? When community comes together, we find that there's always more than enough, and there's even leftovers. And that's what I find when I go out to help at the food kitchens, at different places. We don't run out. We always have more than enough to share. In our community at Blessed Sacrament, they collect food. Like now they'll have casseroles available, and people will make those casseroles, and then we go and we help to serve. So I often sign up for that. The last few years I haven't, and most times they'll tell me they have more than enough people to help. So usually it's students. The students here get points to help if they volunteer. So often they'll give them the first opportunities, or they'll give visiting priests the opportunities to do the reflections, to do retreats, people who are studying. For me, I didn't do my retreats and all of that in the parish. I was fortunate. I did them with the Jesuits. So I helped to organize the retreats at Regis College. I helped to organize the prayers at Regis College. I helped to put together some of the movies that we chose. So I did a lot at Regis College while I was there and while I was studying. And although my studies took a long time, they took 7 years, I was always involved in that Jesuit community, and that gave me a very good grounding for when I came out and I graduated and I started helping in different places. And so we hold on to this promise of Jesus that the Lord doesn't only care about our spiritual lives, he cares also about our earthly needs. He cares about us going hungry. He cares about how we are, whether we're sick or whether we're well. And Jesus does all these miracles so that people can come back to the Lord. And that's what I wanted to share for today. It's the Gospel according to St. Mark, and it's chapter 8, verses 1 to 10. If you'd like to read on it and reflect on it, how has God acted in your life when you felt that, okay, everything's gone, I have nothing? Because I know for me, God has worked through others to help to provide for me, to help me to make sure I have shelter, I have food. And even in times like this where I have no money, I have nothing, I know that I have family who will send me some money for food, or they'll send the food to me. Because of that, I have a fridge full of food. And I know how to cook. God has provided me with the skills to know how to cook. So I buy things that I know are going to stay, they're going to last, like pastas, lentils, and I cook and I make sure that I take care of not only my spiritual needs, but also my physical needs. I make sure my place is clean. In the city, we have infestations. We have cockroaches, we have rats. You have to keep your place clean. So my place is always clean. I always sweep, I vacuum, I clean the windows, I wash the balcony, I sweep the balcony. So we are also responsible individuals, and Jesus shows us the way. And we all bless our food before we eat. In the Catholic tradition, we say grace before we eat, and we say grace after we eat. And in community, we can do more than we could do on our own. That's why we come together and we help each other, and God's Holy Spirit works through us to accomplish what His aims are on this earth and what He wants to accomplish through us on this earth. There's many people who are in worse off situations than me. There's people who don't have a job and they are like me. They went to look for shelters. They went to look for subsidized housing, and there's long waiting lists. So I know what that feels like, and that's why I help. That's why I do whatever I can, because I've been in those positions, not only here, but in Zimbabwe as well. We went through very tough times where we didn't have food in the house to eat. Even in Canada, I've gone through tough times where there's been no food in the cupboard, no food on the shelves, and I've gone to bed hungry. And I've never told anybody at my workplace or in the community. I've just said, you know what, Lord, I don't know what you want me to do, because even when I tell people, they don't help. So I put my faith in God, and I just wait until I get that little bit of that $20 or whatever it is, where I can go and buy that next bit of food for myself. And that's particularly affects single women, because when you have a husband, when you have a couple, you can bond together and you can help each other. But single women who are on our own, we get affected the most by poverty. Even if we're educated, we get affected the most. That's why my relatives help me when they can. My aunts and uncles, my brother, my sister, their families, when they can help, they help with what little they have. Because otherwise I would be completely hungry. I would not have a place to live. And I help them first, so they help me in turn. And that's how God works through us and through our communities. And Blessed Sacrament is a wealthy parish. It's always between us and Our Lady of Sorrows when it comes to share life and fundraising and things like that. That's why I was very surprised that even though Father Larry asked if anyone can give me a room in a house and rent to me, when I was looking, nobody stepped up. Nobody stepped forward. I was shocked, because I thought people in the parish know me. They know me as a lector. I've helped with the Eucharistic ministry. I've helped with reading in church. I've helped with the children's liturgy. I've helped cleaning the church. I've helped with so many different things, not only at Blessed Sacrament, but also in Newman Center, St. Basil's Parish. So I was shocked. I was shocked because there are very wealthy people in our parish, and there are people that know me and know my situation, and people who are business owners who have they own like car dealerships and grocery shops. Not one of them stepped up to tell Father Larry, yes, Father Larry, we've got businesses and Belinda can come work as a receptionist or in retail or in the auto dealers. And it's not like Father Larry didn't ask. He asked. He asked, and lots of the other priests have asked. So people are quite shocked. But I put my trust in God for myself, for my family, for my mother in particular. I put my trust in the Lord, and I just say, Lord, this is in your hand. I don't understand why nobody was willing to help us to keep our property here in Canada. I don't understand why other people got more support than me, and I don't understand why this has to be this way. But I can put it in your hands, and I can trust that you called me to this ministry of being a spiritual director. You blessed me with opportunities to study. You blessed me with opportunities to help others. And I was selected by your priests. It was your priests and your nuns who are in consecrated life that chose me to serve you as a spiritual director. So I don't understand why, when your priests and your nuns and your bishops and your cardinals ask for help for me, nobody is willing to help. I don't understand it, Lord, but I put it in your hands because I know they are asking. I know that their hearts break for me, and I know that you called me in a special way to be strong in my faith and to love you with a tenderness that is special for me. And I know the musical gifts you have given me, the talents, my dancing, and you've given me a heart for you, Lord. So I leave it with you, and I ask you to open those doors of employment for me. And I pray for you to change hardened hearts where people have so much money, but when the clergy asks for me, nobody is willing to help me or my mother. I put it in your hands. That's what I say to the Lord. And the psalm also today is very good. Oh Lord, remember me out of the love you have for your people. So I feel sorry for people that don't have family to help them, and who have people who tell them, like me, well, we don't know what you're going to do. You'll have to go and look for subsidized housing or go on welfare. I feel sorry for people that have hardened hearts like that, because for me, my suffering makes me want to help others more, not less. And it makes me want to help my immediate family first, and then the others, then the community. There is no way I would go and ask my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, or anybody outside of my immediate family without having asked my family first. I would always ask them first, and if they can't help, then I would go to others. But I put it in God's hands. I say, okay, Lord, you know what? My clothes are tattered, my clothes are old, but I look after them. I keep them nicely. Even my socks, I used to wear them until they had holes in them. And I say, okay, Lord, but you know what? At least I have something. And even my shoes. My shoes used to have holes in them, and I used to walk in the snow and go. Even the dogs used to come and lick my feet outside Blessed Sacrament, because that's how bad it was. And I just pray that it doesn't get to that stage again. I pray that the Lord will open up a very well-paid job for me, and that he will move me. If it's not here in Canada, and the priests and the nuns and the bishops and the cardinals are not getting that support for me, I pray that he would open that door and move me to a place where I will be appreciated and valued and paid well. because you go through it once where you lose everything in Zimbabwe. So you come here, you start over with nothing but the clothes on your back. You make something of your life. You buy a property for you and your widowed mother, and then you lose everything again because of structural injustice. And people don't hold on to the good. They know what I've done in the parishes. They know what I've done in the community. They know what I've done, not volunteering just for the church, but for secular organizations. And despite that, not one person will step up for me. I just say, okay, Lord, it's in your hands. It's in your hands. Everybody wants to come to this parish because they know I'm there. They know I'm there. It's got nothing to do with me. If Father Larry wants them to come, that's fine. It's got nothing to do with me. I put my life in the Lord's hands, and I pray that God would change my circumstances. Because there's no use having all the books and all the knowledge and everything if you don't have opportunities to use it and to help others. There's no point. I'm not a student anymore. I graduated in 2011 from Regis. So now the students who are there, they are getting the same opportunities I had, and rightly so. If Regis ever has an opportunity for me, I would love to go there to help to teach, to help to give retreats, to help to do things with the Jesuits, but they don't have those opportunities for me. So I do whatever I can with the gifts and the talents that I have, and I know that with what I do, by God's grace, I have even more left over than I could imagine. And when I make things, I share with my neighbor, I share with my friends, because I can't cook in small quantities, so I make enough for 2-3 days, and then I share with people. And that's God's gift for me. Ever since that day, that time at Rosewell Gardens, by the grace of God, I haven't gone to sleep hungry. I haven't had to walk with holes in my shoes. But I was also clever. I bought 4 or 5 pairs of shoes when I started working, so that when one gets finished, I have another one there that I can use. Because I didn't even have the money to take it and repair it. And when you take shoes for repair, you might as well buy a new one. They cost so much. But that's how God is. God works in our lives according to His plan. And I put my faith in Him. And all this evil that the banks promoted, supporting the drug cartels, the Olympians that go and they get involved in drugs, and all of that, they all have to answer for what they're doing. I have to answer to God for what I'm doing. And I'm so thankful for Elvis Presley's music. Sometimes you need somebody's spirit like that to come through, to never let you go. That's what love does. It never lets you go. And that's His love for me. Because believe you me, I never listened to His music. I never listened to it. You know, my mother sent me all these CDs. I'm like, oh, you're sending me all these things. I don't even listen to Him anymore. I never listened to it. But His music came through and His music helped me. And I'm very grateful to God for His life and for His music. And Michael Jackson. They put them through hell. They spoil their names. They spoil their reputations. They say, oh yeah, they were taking drugs. The doctors push those drugs. Look at what the doctors did to Elvis. Look at what the doctors did to Michael Jackson. And look at what the doctors tried to do to me. At least they respected my decision. I was lucky. I had a good family doctor who stood by my decisions. And my health was fine until I worked in that call center. Everybody goes through that. There's so many people that have recorded videos about how they landed up getting high blood pressure and anxiety and all that because of how badly they get treated in call centers. So it's not only me, but by God's grace, I'm fine. And what I've got now, it's part of aging. It's part of hereditary diseases that you get. So I'm grateful to the Lord. I'm grateful. because from that time I sold that place, I haven't gone hungry, and I pray that I never will go hungry or be left on the street again. I pray that I'll never ever have to go and look for shelter in the shelter system or subsidized housing. That's my prayer for myself. And you can add your prayers for yourself, because we live in an abundant world. So I pray that I will be able to buy my own property and continue to shine for the Lord, to continue to be the person that He wants me to be. And I pray for Elvis's hand to never be taken away from me. I pray for his guiding hand on my life. As I'm also a musician, and I love to sing and dance. So I thank God for Elvis and for his music.